All right, it is Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I am Taylor Gattoni alongside Nicole Buckman from Studio 10. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's a busy day.
It is a
Have
very
you been
busy
able to
day.
breathe?
A little bit, not too
Okay.
much. As you see, our banners are still red. That's because earlier we were showing all of the smoke
Oh my
moving
goodness,
across
yes.
Jackson.
Yeah, for that major fire.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a live look to Jackson right now. You're going to see, this is downtown Jackson. If you were looking around, around 12:15 today for about an hour or so, there was a large mass of black smoke moving across downtown Jackson. That was from an abandoned building. Jackson Police Department had all of their crews on deck on the scene, making sure they could put out that fire as well as that smoke. So as you're seeing now, looking much better over downtown Jackson, but we'll continue to update you throughout the day because right now we want to see what's going on with Studio 10 and the rest of our newscasts.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I know. We've been kind of doing that fall welcome with MSU students. There's been a buzz around obviously East Lansing as more and more students make their way back and move in. We have such a big class this year.
Not just Michigan State University, but also LCC. Yeah.
Mhm,
all
yes.
of them.
So, but here in Studio 10, we've been doing a bulk fall welcome
Yes.
over for MSU. And so we've been highlighting different businesses and organizations that are also opening their hands to these students. And this today we're highlighting the People's Church, which is in right next to all of the big buildings over in East Lansing. And so they're talking a little bit about how although their space is like historic, 100 years old, they are keeping up with the times.
Oh,
and
there
they
you
have
go. Okay.
a brand new campus lounge. So lots of fun going on there.
Renovations. Okay.
Yes, and then too, kind of on the back to school themes, we've been doing a lot of back to school for the kids. But what about extracurriculars?
Yeah.
So what can they do after school? And there is a great new area over in Stockbridge. We've highlighted it earlier this summer. It's called their pump track. So it's
Did
with
highlight
those,
that
yes.
earlier. Mhm.
So now we're just kind of showcasing how it's officially done and how it's great for the community, great for people to come to Stockbridge, and a great thing to put on your kids' schedule as they finish up school. And of course, it's Tuesday, so that means it's Take Me Home Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Of Capital Area Humane Society joining us shortly. And then because he is kind of, I feel like, our, I don't want to say, he's a special part of the WLX team. We've highlighted him several times before. CJ, he does his own weather, WCJR.
Okay, there you
if you
go.
follow him, he is a beautiful recent graduate from Hazlitt, and he has his own little weather channel.
Oh my God.
Yes, and we've highlighted, like I said before, he's worked with our meteorologist, but he also is a proud representative for this thing called zupping. Yes. So you're
What
going to
is
just have
that?
to tune in. I'm going to leave you with that tease.
All right.
You're going to have to tune into Studio 10 to figure out what zupping is. But it's kind of how, sometimes we're scared of water, or big bodies of water can be nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But for other students or other people like CJ who, he has Down syndrome, he finds different activities that help him, communicate more and kind of thrive, and that is with this zupping that they have on there. So we'll show you that sport and how you can get figure out how you can get involved with it too. So
All right.
a little bit of everything
Yeah.
on Studio 10.
All over the
I
place.
know.
And you can learn what zupping is coming up at 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
There you go.
I know.
All right.
I told you, you're in for a treat.
Sounds good. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing what's coming up on Studio 10 today. Of course, you can always stay up to date with Studio 10 on their website, their Instagram, as well as their email right there. And like Nicole was saying, getting MSU students back and ready, and not just MSU students, but LCC students everywhere, right? The summer feels like it flew by, and here we are getting going with the school year. So we are making sure that we are keeping you prepared here on both Studio 10 as well as News 10. And you can always tune in to Studio 10 at 3 o'clock, of course. But also, if you miss any of their segments, you want to go back and watch something caught your eye and you want to send it to someone, go to their YouTube page at WYLX Studio 10. Great resource on there. Again, Nicole was talking about their pump track. They've had that on the show before. So if you want to see what they talked about before and see what might be changing, what's new or added, go to their YouTube page. Also talking about all of the MSU students coming back to school, and they're talking about how the businesses are also welcoming them back. You can go check that out as well. And I'm sure, Justin, I was talking to a neighbor the other day. They said, in the summer months, you go out there and you're like, oh, the bars, the restaurants, it's so easy to get in, the parking too.
Yep.
well, when students come back, good luck finding any spots open.
Definitely. And yeah, today, pretty good move-in day for the most
Yeah.
part for folks. Better than tomorrow, and probably the next day will be. We got some high heat and humidity both working in. That's been the subject of our first alert forecast, and will continue to be through Thursday. After that, we'll get back in a pretty smooth sailing weekend, but in the meantime, hot and humid conditions are going to continue.
Oh yes, oh yes. So today, if you're moving, now is a good time to do it, or you're going to have to wait a little bit later in the week, and Justin will tell you when the time is to do that.
Yeah, pretty quiet outside today, and that's what's made the conditions so nice. We have had a few eastern showers today. Those have been kind of off that direction. Most places, though, managing to stay dry, and we even see the clouds starting to break apart. We're just shy of 70 degrees. We've had a kind of a northeast wind, been under clouds most of the day so far, but now that the sun's trying to peek through, I think we're going to start to heat up. We'll see temperatures climb into the middle and upper 70s before the day's done. You can see that's happening down towards the south and west. Places like Marshall back mid-70s, Hillsdale, Coldwater, same thing. Whereas north of Mason and off to the east as well, everyone there has kind of been under those thicker clouds and even a few very light rain showers, but the humidity has been dialed back. Dew points today have only generally been in the mid-50s. That's much more comfortable. But these are going to ramp way up as we move forward in our first alert look. The dew point hour by hour does show that. Not for the rest of today. And so today and tonight, very comfortable across our state. Even into tomorrow, 8 a.m., you see we're still towing the line around 50-degree dew points. That's pretty good. That means we're comfortable. However, just shortly after that, we're going to have a line of showers and storms blow through tomorrow morning, and these go way up. Now they're in the 70s and mid-70s to even some upper 70s. That just means it's a very, very humid, if not tropical air mass. And the storms use that energy. They're able to kind of throw that down. And then in the wake of that, later in the evening, we might watch for another round to come through. But it's not just Wednesday that's humid. You see here we go out into Thursday, starting the day with dew points in the 70s in the morning. And then these numbers maybe even go higher headed into Thursday evening, even if we're able to avoid the rain. So going to be a lot of humidity in the air, very muggy conditions. Satellite radar, again, for the most part, kept us dry, but there's that one little leg of rain showers that's tried to snake downward and across the area. And so that's kind of what we've got going on. Moving forward into the rest of our evening here. You can see that again, work back in some of those showers, and they're fading away fast though, riding that ridge. We should get into a quiet, comfortable evening before the storms dive down overnight. But
I was going to say, you were just talking about the ridges yesterday.
I know, yeah, and it's still kind of lingering around, and we can see the hour by hour kind of shows what we're playing out this evening. Not much going on, very quiet, and so very comfortable evening out there tonight. However, tomorrow morning we see that line of showers and storms. That comes screaming in here probably just around or after sunset in northern sections, and it makes its way from north to south as the day goes on. But once it blows through, I think for the most part we're going to get into a dry, sunny afternoon. The only thing is temperatures climb into the upper 80s, and with that high humidity we just showed you, the heat index will be higher too. We'll show you that in just a moment as well. But there's also a chance tomorrow evening, you see here, for maybe a flare-up, shower, or storm. The model's trying to throw this a little east of our area, but if that meanders back a little bit, we could maybe see a few places in eastern sections get into some of that, and so that's what we're watching going forward. I don't think whatever's on the model there really kind of comes to fruition. That's just kind of a little too far out for it. But Thursday, the gist of this is it's going to be mostly sunny day, highs in the 90s, and humidity just as high means we probably feel a lot warmer than that too, again, heading out into that time frame. So here's the heat index. Everyone's looking for this as far as the humidity and temperature together. This evening, comfortable. Feels like the 70s, maybe a spot or two gets to near 80. Overnight, falls back as we expect. That's about where the temps will be. But tomorrow afternoon, they come climbing way back up. And if we can stave off the rain and avoid it late in the day, it's just going to be just air you can wear. Very soupy sitting air mass. And that's kind of what we got going here. You can see here heat index values. That's kind of the feels like temperature when you factor in about 88, 89 degrees and the high humidity. And so that'll bring the numbers way up. And so a lot of heat heading into tomorrow. And then the same is true for Thursday, though the chance for rain is not as high. Now, mind you, Wednesday morning storms, not going to be severe. It doesn't look like that. But if we do get one to flare up towards the end of the day, where I showed you that model coming further east, in fact, I'll go back and show it here very briefly past our heat index. When we get into that time frame moving forward here, there we go. We got this comfortable evening here. The showers, storms blow through tomorrow morning. These ones likely just going to be some thunderstorms, maybe some gusty winds, very small hail, if we are able to flare something up as we get into the late evening, which you can see here, trying to throw it down over east in the models. If any of that does venture a little further westward towards us and come our way, those are the ones that we're watching that could be strong to severe if they spin up real fast. And so that's kind of what we're keeping an eye on moving forward. So I'll zip ahead of the heat index here again to the 10-day, which shows you that that's a short-lived pattern, because by Friday we're lucky to make 80 degrees, and that's even starting at almost 70. And we're going to have a very strong north wind. That's not only going to bring in lower humidity, but also much cooler temperatures. And so Saturday is a very cool day by August standards in mid-Michigan, 72. And partly cloudy skies, a very small chance at a passing shower in the morning. Aside from that, it's a sunny weekend. Temps are a lot cooler. Overnight lows in the 50s. If we do dip into the 40s, it'll be the first time we've done that since early June. So we're going to have one of the cooler air masses we've seen, and it comes right on the heels of one of the hottest days of the summer. We have not had a lot of heat and humidity together in this forecast. But we are tomorrow and Thursday. And so that's kind of where we're at here. We seem to have either had one or the other, as we've been talking about, but now we're going to get both. And even next week, very comfortable air settles in. It's a very slow climb back to 80 degrees. Mother Nature taking her time delivering us back into the summer-like warmth. But we might see a little bit of that heading out into early September as well. We still are no strangers to days getting into the 80s in September, and I think we'll have a string of those to start the month. But it is looking like a very hot, followed by a very cool pattern here, kind of back and forth battle between Mother Nature, and you typically see big swings like that as we get closer to changes of seasons, and eventually we're going to start doing that here. I think we still got a good bit of summer left. I'm optimistic about that, but definitely kind of a sign to come. We know the average temperatures are going down, and so ultimately they'll continue to do that all the way through, I think, January, when they bottom out in the 30s. But we eventually are going to start seeing some cooler air settle in. And I think this weekend, coming off the heels of 2 days back-to-back that feel like 100, this weekend it'll feel much cooler than that. And so that's kind of what we've got to look forward to here.
All right, yeah, like you were talking about, really just got to make it through tomorrow, Wednesday, and then as well as Thursday. We were talking about move-in not too long ago, so the day to do that would be today or, this weekend.
Yeah.
Because, by early next week, students are already back in school. It might be way too chaotic to try to move them in when they're back in class.
Class is starting Monday for a lot of schools around the area. I think that's going to be the day. You want to be settled in, but if you are holding out, I know freshmen going back and everything, if you are holding out, you're a returning student. Saturday, Sunday, even Friday doesn't look like a bad day. So really, if you can hold off till after Thursday's heat, I think you'll be smooth sailing into this weekend for any of that.
Oh, yes. And then if you take a look at the first week, for those who are back in school, a great welcome week forecast.
It is.
So you can take it easy with all of the, the little, what do you call it? Before, when you start.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking
forgetting what it's called about.
Back to school
We'll
type
remember
thing?
at some point. But
All
yeah,
right,
the little
gotcha.
pre-thing when you're just like, oh, here's your checklist of what you need.
Oh, syllabus.
Thank you. Syllabus.
Sorry, yeah, syllabus
I was
week.
like, it's blank
Yeah,
in my head.
I wasn't catching. I got you there. Yeah, syllabus week.
Syllabus week.
Yep.
There you go. So
Exactly.
Syllabus week. You don't have many tests. Hopefully, you don't have any tests starting that week. But
Hope not. Yeah.
getting some assignments. I'm sure you can go enjoy outside and do that.
And the evenings will be a little cooler next week than what we're used to for the time of year. So maybe take an extra layer if you're heading out to the late night bar scene. Anything. I don't know. Just saying.
There you go. Yes, they'll all be heading back to the bars. So everyone else,
Right.
if you're not a student, make sure you're aware of the bar scene, restaurants, parking in downtown East Lansing, and the area in general.
Right.
Well, there you go. All right, not too bad outside.
Sure.
And we do want to talk about what's behind us, downtown Jackson. We'll get to that in just a little bit. We do want to share what's coming up during First at 4 and our 90 Minutes of News.
Yeah.
So here we go. Coming up, we do not have a Mid-Michigan Matters today. Oh, that was blank. I typed that in and it went away.
All right.
Would you look at that? Well, coming up on First at 4, I guess I'll take it away for just a second. There is a traffic jam in the Panama Canal, so it is causing some delays. We'll have more on that, how it could affect you if you have any, packages, deliveries, any of that, how it could be affected, and just shipping across the country. So we'll have more on that coming up. First at 4. No Mid-Michigan Matters today. And then the rest of our 90 minutes of news coming up, starting with News 10 at 5. Fred Heumann was on hand as the MSU football team got together with the marching band. And we're less than 2 weeks from the start of college football in East Lansing. What is it, September 1st?
It's coming up. Yeah, they play
Next
my
Friday?
Chippewas.
There you
It's
go.
going to be exciting. Exciting day at Spartan
MSU.
Stadium.
And yeah, what am I? I'm a Michigan State alum. You're a
I know.
CMU alum.
I know. Big
Rivalry
battle.
begins.
Big
Let's
battle
go.
here.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
We'll have more coming up on News 10 at 5. And the News 10 at 5:30. Tonight, Jordan talks how back-to-school season hits the pocketbook for many parents and educators. Yep. Hearing that from parents, have a few friends that are teachers, and yep, prices, they just keep climbing.
Yeah.
News 10 at 6. Our Aaron Bowling is live in Jackson as crews continue to battle the large fire. And if we take it back over here, you're taking a live look now in Jackson. Let me get that little sky cam up for you guys. But yeah, you were taking a look. That is downtown Jackson looking much, much better right now. And also, we're going to take a little live feed from Erin's camera. Let's see if she holds it still for just a second. Oh, never mind. Let's see about that. Oh, there we go. She's talking to someone right now, so I'll let them be for just a little bit. But Erin is live in downtown Jackson. Maybe I'll show it for a split second here. There we go. She's interviewing all sorts of people. We saw her talk to at least 5 people so far, talking about all of the smoke that just crossed.
And you can see the burnt, scalded structure in the background as well, and just what was causing those flames to kind of go off. And still kind of in the back left behind that gentleman there, you can see a few smokes still coming up there. And so certainly pretty wild situation, unfortunate situation. Hopefully we can find out a little bit more about that at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, as you saw, very burnt down building. It was an abandoned building on North Street and Cooper, right near that intersection. And so we had multiple calls out to the police department, the fire department, as you can imagine, because it was, you know, a large mass of black smoke and a heavy fire. All of the fire crews were on the scene. They were too busy to get back to us, so we will have more information coming up first at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. But yes, they were very, very busy today. We also want to share what Deanna has coming up during our 90 minutes of news, so we're going to send it to her.
Some local UAW members are voting to authorize a strike if deemed necessary. Today, who expressed their concern. I'm Deanna Giles, and I'll have reaction and the economic impact coming up on News 10 at.
All right, cut out a little bit, but thank you, Deanna. We will have more coming up during our 90 minutes of news today. Again, we will also have more coming up on the smoke that was in Jackson. Now you're just seeing some of the little clouds, thin clouds over there.
Yeah.
What type of clouds, Justin?
Not too much going on. There's nice deck of stratus clouds.
Okay.
Yeah, just hanging on around there. Not too much going on in the skies, fortunately, as far as weather goes. But again, that changes tomorrow across mid-Michigan. We'll have an updated look at your first alert forecast coming up.
All right, and the last thing you can always do to prepare yourself for any sort of weather or traffic alerts, anything like that, head over to the First Alert Weather app, completely free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. Great device, or great tool to have on your device.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, again, we always tout the daily video updates and everything you get in your First Alert forecast. There's plenty that is there, and it's all, once again, free in the palm of your hand to download. Plenty of nice features there with the hour-by-hour temps, the radar, both past and future, of course, all our daily video forecasts. And that's, once again, free in the First Alert Weather app, which you can download today. And that's all you have to do. Get it in App Store and Google Play by searching WILX Weather. Very easy to do, and hopefully you have it. If you don't, always a good time to get it. The best time is right now.
All right, thank you, Justin. You're always killing it as usual, and we will hear, or you will see us more coming up on Studio 10.
Yep.
First at 4, and then we'll have everyone else on the 90 minutes of news. Have a great day.
See ya.